I'm back today with another video. Today I'm going to be doing a tips and tricks for the iPhone. My first tips and tricks video has proven quite popular, so I thought I'd do a follow-up with some more tips and tricks. Now it's worth pointing out at this point that some of these tips and tricks will work on the iPod Touch and also on the iPad, so they're not iPhone specific. So let's go ahead and dive straight in. The first tip is enabled when you're on the lock screen. If you press the home button here twice, up pops the iPod controls. Now this is useful for if you're using the iPod and the phone's locked, or if you're listening to music through the built-in speakers here and you want quick access to the iPod controls. Normally you would unlock the iPhone like so, go into the iPod and access the controls through here. But if the phone's locked, you can quite easily double press the home button, up come the iPod controls, and from here you can play, you can pause, you can skip the previous and the next track, and you've also got the scrubber here for the volume. And to get rid of the control, simply double tap again and it disappears. Tip number 2 is to do with voice control. Now, voice control allows you to access various features on the phone through a voice action. Now, to enable this, if you just hold down the home button, and after a couple of seconds, up should pop the voice control interface. Now, across the screen, you'll see all the various commands that you can give the phone. Don't know whether you can see that there. And these are all the different commands. You can ask it to call a specific person, or dial a number, or play a song, or play a particular playlist, or songs by a particular artist. So if I say, play songs by Lost Prophets.
Playing songs by Lost Prophets.
And then it starts playing songs by that particular artist. And you can always access the songs that it's playing through the iPod as normal. And you can also give it commands to stop playing that particular song. I don't quite see the point in that. I mean, you can initiate voice control and give it commands like to stop playing that particular music or to skip to the next track, but you may as well just go into the iPod. But there are some useful features. It comes in handy when you're using a Bluetooth headset, for example. You can hold the button on the end of your Bluetooth headset, and with some headsets it will initiate voice control, and you can ask it to play songs or call a specific person. So that's how to access voice control on the iPhone. Tip number 3 is to do with navigating the iPhone. Now normally to access the various different screens that you may have, you would scroll like so and swipe between the various screens. A quicker and easier way, some may find, is to tap to the left or right of these dots here at the bottom of the screen. So if I tap to the right, it just moves to the next screen along. If I tap to the left, it moves to the previous screen. So that's just another way to move between screens. You may prefer to do it that way because in some cases it can be quicker than swiping that way or that way. It's just all down to personal preference, but that's another way to navigate between the screens, just simply by tapping to the left or to the right of the dots on the screen. Tip number 4 is to do with multitasking. Now every time you launch an app on the iPhone, it will keep it running in the background as you would expect it to on a PC or Mac. And until you quit that app, it continues running. Now if you're not aware of this, then obviously it will lead to decreased battery life and you'll probably have hundreds of apps running in the background. So to access multitasking, if you just simply press the home button twice from wherever you are in the iPhone, and up pops the multitasking bar at the bottom. Now on here you can see all the apps that you have running. So as you can see, I've got quite a few running at the moment. Now I usually quit my apps every couple of days, and to quit apps that you're not using, just simply hold your finger on them and then up pops the delete icons, and you can then just simply close down all the apps that you're not using, and it just saves them all running in the background together, using up valuable battery life and resources if you're using some more powerful apps such as games, because obviously you've got quite a few apps running. This can cause games and some of the apps to slow down if you've got quite a few apps running. So that's multitasking, and then to exit multitasking, just simply press the home button twice again and it gets rid of the multitasking bar. Tip number 5 is a way to organise your apps. So as an example, if I want to move this app here to another screen, just simply hold on the app and then they all start wiggling, which means you can move them. If I just hold my finger on and drag it over to the right, it gives me a new screen and I can deposit that app on the other screen. If I want to delete that app, I just hit the X in the corner. It'll come up saying, do you want to delete this app? I hit delete and the app's deleted. So that's how you can remove apps from the phone that you no longer need. Another thing you can do is you can create folders for your apps. So if you've got a few apps, such as games for example, that you want to put in a folder together to save space on the screen, just simply hold and drag one app over the other and it will create a folder with the two apps in it. Now what it will do is it will name the folder based on the types of apps that are in there. So I emailed this one photography for example because I've put this app in here which is a photography app, and you can simply change that just by tapping in the name and then just deleting out the text that's in there, putting in whatever you want, click done, and it will rename the folder to whatever you've put in. And then once you finish rearranging all the apps on the screen, creating folders, just simply press the home button and you're finished. Tip number 6 is how to rearrange icons in the iPod. So let's go into the iPod and I'll show you what I mean. When you look at the bottom of the iPod, you've got playlists, albums, artists and videos. You may have different icons depending on whether you've changed them to your own personal preference or not. Now if you go into more here, you should see a list of all the other different sections of the iPod that you can go to. If you hit edit, it brings up another window and you can drag onto the bottom here your most preferred choices. So if I want to access songs rather than artists, just drag songs to the bottom here. It replaces artists with songs and moves artists up into the list. And you can do that with pretty much anything. So if I want to get rid of videos and put podcasts in, just simply drag it down and it replaces videos. When you're done, you just click the done icon in the corner and it's all changed for you. Tip number 7 is how to email multiple photos. Now it's very easy to email a photo to somebody just simply by tapping the photo and emailing it, but if you want to email multiple photos, if you go into the Photos app, and I've got some photos here of my dogs. If I wanted to email say 4 photos, you would have to do it to the Photos app. If you click this icon up here in the top right hand corner, then it will come up with select photos. So if I tap these 4 photos, and then at the bottom you'll see the button that says share. So we'll click share. Up pops a couple of options for email or MMS. If I hit email, what it will do is it will then put those 4 photos in the email and I can email those to whoever I want. Tip number 8 is a shortcut in Safari. So let me go into Safari. Now let's say I want to type a address. So if I go into the address bar up here and I put iPhone in, just as an example. Now normally you would put the ending on there, .com, .co.uk, .net, .org, whatever the ending may be. Now on the bottom of the keyboard here, Apple has kindly provided the .com as a shortcut. But if you're in different parts of the world, you may need different endings on the web address. So if you hold your finger over here, up will pop a list of all the available domain suffixes, and if I hit if I move my finger then over .co.uk, it will just add it into the address bar. If I hold my finger over it again, we'll move it over .us, it will add .us in. So that's just a quick way to get some domain suffixes as a shortcut. Just simply hold your finger over the standard.com, and up will pop all the available options. Now, depending on what international keyboard you have set as your default option, depends on the endings that you get. Obviously, for different parts of the world, there will be different domain endings. So that's just a shortcut to different domain endings. So that's it for this video. There's just some tips and tricks for the iPhone that you may or may not know. Most people probably know the majority of them, but there are new users to the iPhone who are not aware of all of these tips and tricks. So I hope that's helped some people out. Now, if anybody's got any requests on anything else they would like to see on the iPhone, then please let me know. I have got some future videos coming out on the iPad and some more iPhone videos planned, and I'm also going to be doing some app reviews. So that's it for now. I will see you in the next video.
No match found. No match found. No match found.